This could be big, though, even still, nonetheless. You're keeping... Oh, actually, I think that might have been a mistake coming out there, because this should actually now allow the M1, obviously... Oh.
What?
What? I'm confused.
Maybe maybe he was hoping that there's an unhook coming across the way, and that's why he's just running after the ace like this. This is maybe the plan here, but O'Boy might have figured this out as well. Now we are seeing it, so there will be a surprise for the team. Very nice patience, actually, by our ace here. But now this is Devour hope, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome back to YouTube, back with some more competitive DBD action. This time, we finally get to see some comp Michael Myers in the Hidden Legends semifinal, brought to you by the Wolfpack and DBE. Yes, the semifinal. We have Michael Myers on RCPD was selected as the tiebreaker in this best of 3 sets matchup between O'Boy and Canapec. Over the course of the 2 trials, we're going to see just about every hex totem imaginable. We've got some Ruin, we've got some Undying, we've got some Plaything, we've got some Pentimento, we've even got some Devour. But I know y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all just want to go ahead and get right down into it. So do me a favor, make sure if y'all enjoy this type of content, leave a like and a comment. That's going to help us out with that good old YouTube algorithm, get our content in front of more people. And of course, if you hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, we can catch you right back here when we drop some more competitive DBD action, as we're dropping a couple videos a week. All right. Till our next time, though, don't forget, with everything crazy we got going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love harder. All right, y'all. It's your boy Q, signing out.
Welcome in, everyone, to Raccoon City Police Station. It's the first time that we are playing this map in Dead by Esports, and also the first time that we see a Michael Myers on an indoor map. We had him in the past, I think. He got picked once as a joke on AIP, if I'm not mistaken, but we haven't seen that much of competitive Myers so far. And finding the Undying that early is actually quite impressive on this map here.
Yeah, it's going to be big, because this map does give you some totem spawns that are a little bit harder to track down, especially with it being a newer map and it being an indoor map. You don't have the always necessarily have the accessibility to see them from across the way here. We do see, I think we've got actually 2 separate survivors here, if I'm not mistaken, which means it's less people currently working on gens, although right now they may be prioritizing looking for the Ruin, as that is still currently in play here. As far as Michael Myers, in case you're like me and don't play too much, just want y'all to know, down there in the bottom left hand corner, we are going to be seeing our Evil Within 3 extended a little bit thanks to the hair bow, but also the stalk rate's going to be a little bit quicker thanks to the memorial there, the other green add-on. So right now we see Reaper about a 1/4 of the way already to tier 3. So I mean, Reaper getting close, and we have yet to see a gen pop.
Yeah, I do. I would like to see the perks of the survivors later on here. I do expect a Visionary and a Deja Vu being brought into the trial, because sometimes it can be really difficult to be on the generators here. We also need to keep in mind that no exhaust perks are allowed, so you cannot just work on a generator, and if Michael is coming, you have a sprint burst or everything prepared. So this is going to be quite some work in the coordination here for the team, which is very heavy on an indoor map like this. Michael is going back towards the top floor here, checking on this generator, another one straight below this, so you have a good track. This is going to be a lot of progress, but that's also going to be a lot of progress on the power there.
Yeah, and we are going to double check here, because we do see, like here, a lot of progress in the gen, so we can assume there's a second player. I think we heard some footsteps below us. Now this is going to be big. Tier 3, you do move just a little bit quicker when you are Michael Myers here, trying to bait out a pallet stun, which might be able to actually drop the pallet on the wrong side. Instead, though, Claudette playing it very, very patient, able to apply the stun, which buys you not only some distance, but also causes the stun animation, which is a little bit additional distance right on top. Also going to be watching Claudette as she does move towards like a god pallet pallet here in this corridor, which does completely block off Reaper as far as being able to do anything but breaking the pallet itself. About a third of the way, a little bit more than a third of the way, almost actually towards a half of the way expired as far as on the tier 3 status. We also see generators 1 and 2 getting complete off in the back. Right now, Claudette doing a very good job.
That is doing a really, really good job. Unfortunately, going down now here in the main hall of the map. But 2 generators coming out for that. The ruin still standing. That might be something he can make work later on in the trial here. But for now, the Survivor team having a quite good start. They will survive the power very likely here as well. It's just around 15 seconds left until the power is fully expired. So the Survivor team just giving in 1 down so far. Michael will need to find the survivors once again, then go through the entire stalk process in order to gain access to the tier 3 again. And looking onto the generators here, I do think it's more, I mean, I don't want to take the strategy of a boy here. Just from my understanding, it's probably more luck than actual generator placement planning, but Oh Boy did a good job in not allowing any heavy 3-gen, so this is something they can make work for themselves.
Yeah, the only thing that I can't help but wonder is things other than, like, say, like the top gen that's up on, like, the helipad. What other gens do we currently know about that are across the way? Because sometimes they can be hard to communicate. Maybe if you, they might end up completing, like, the outside most gens, working their way in. Also seeing here as Reaper is continuing the chase with the ace here in the press room. Pops the tier 3, is going to be able to get the down.
Very, very nice play at the pallet here. Gets the tier 3 straight into the down, onto hitboxes. And if he finds a quick hook, you still have a lot of time left on your tier 3 there. So the survivors actually need to watch out that they're pulling back from the generators. And there's someone leaving blood trails. Of course, that's an injured survivor, so tier 3 doesn't really matter. But tier 3 still helps you when we are talking about vaulting windows, etc. So it is still mattering. And this is 2 survivors here. So Lorian's leaving as well. But now you also know that 2 survivors cannot go for the save as they are chased here. So that means Obi very likely needs to rotate over. That would remove everyone from the gens. And Q, there was a second sound notification after an unhook, so slowly we can tell that there's a 3rd perk or a 3rd hex perk stacking up in the background.
Yeah, and this is going to be big here because this is going to be the 3rd down. So as long as Reaper is going to be able to make way away from this hook here, which they should be able to do relatively quickly here. Of course, while in the tier 3, you know, Michael don't skip leg day. He do be thumbing out here with those sneakers. Is going to be able to get away from this hook quite a bit. Also, of course, while his radius is in the tier 3 status, you're going to have people wanting to stay away from Michael as well. So it's going to cause people to play a little bit more cautiously. However, I was going to say this could be big if you got the down before the tier 3 was expired. This could be big, though, even still, nonetheless. You're keeping... Oh, actually, I think that might have been a mistake coming out there because this should actually now allow the M1, obviously... Oh.
What?
What? I'm confused.
Maybe he's maybe he was hoping that there's an unhook coming across the way, and that's why he's just running after the ace like this. This is maybe the plan here, but Oh Boy might have figured this out as well. Now we're seeing it, so there will be a surprise for the team. Very nice patience, actually, by our ace here. But this is Devour Hope, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a 3rd hex totem in this trial. That is Devour Hope, 3 stacks, and this was very likely the idea here from Reaper. And now there's going to be a lot of panic on the side of a boy here, because you can basically 99 your power, and then you can keep it until Devour Hope is cleansed and then use it. So that's going to be huge.
You talk about panic, and literally the second Reaper turns around the corner, you saw our survivor down the hallway like, no, you know what? I'm going to drop this pallet. I'm not even going to try and play any games. I am out of here. And that's kind of the panic that you were talking about, right? You're going to be able to force some even extra pallets down, get those resources out of the way. And interesting, though, we see Reaper playing close to the hook, which would prevent him from progressing the Devour Hope, which is interesting.
Yeah, either I maybe he prioritizes the elimination and says the 3v1 is so important right now that I don't care about Devour Hope stacking up. This is a very interesting choice though. And the 3-1 situation will definitely be difficult for Oh Boy here. Now the Devour Hope is also cleansed. So they got this done. The question is, what is going on with the last generator here? And that's actually a difficult one for Reaper here, because to check on this generator there, you would need to go upstairs and then all the way. So Michael here going after the lorry now. So this is going to be this pallet once again in play, but the power is towards 99. So you do get this pallet out of the way very likely, and then you go for the power here. Pre-drop coming in by Lorry. Then it's the question, when is Reaper going for the full power here? The vault coming in, and Lorry actually leaving this pallet, and this is now going to be the mind games coming out here. Last generator completed, however, so the Survivor team got that done. The down coming through. The question is, do we see a slug, or are we going for the hook? And it seems like Reaper is picking the safe way here.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense, right? Especially because you're by a door. The only problem is, yeah, you should be able to get up here. There's almost always a hook up. Okay, yeah, there's a hook right over here that you're going to be able to make way to, and it's going to be close enough that you can keep an eye on the door as well, secure this elimination. That's also a fresh hook here, which is at...
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Is he leaving? Is there another Survivor, actually? This would be big, because... if there's a third Survivor rotating for the save, which you really want to do, right? Are they going for the door? Yeah,
they're both out front. Yeah.
This secures the fresh hook then. So we will actually see an 8-stage game. And I mean, I couldn't really say what I'm expecting from this match because I've never seen a shape on RPD. I do feel like 8 stages is quite an impressive result.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you also got the benefit of, when you talk about coming in with like Ruin, Undying, Devour Hope, we kind of got some good RNG in the fact that, like, obviously Undying is going to get cleansed first, but then the fact that Ruin gets cleansed makes people stop looking for totems, right? So then you're able to get a little bit of additional slowdown as far as with the Devour Hope with the third hit, which is why I can't help but I understand wanting to save tier 3 for like after Devour Hope essentially gets cleansed, but there is that point in that trial where we were chasing around in the one office in the tile and we were so close to tier 3. If we just pop tier 3 there, get the down, they don't know about the Devour Hope, then you get the Devour Hope when you technically have 4 stacks. I can't help but wonder if the game changes a little bit and even further pushes that result a little bit higher, right? All right, let's take another trip on back into the fog one more time with the shape on RCPD, and you will see a change in our score here. Oh boy, unfortunately loaded us into the wrong map here now, meaning that we are looking at a score of 12-19. Not only does it get your give you a bigger deficit here, but it also exposes your build to the survivors as they now are unable to change their perks here as well. However, I must say with a build like this, I don't know if exposing the build is necessarily a bad thing. At some point, you're eventually going to be needing to cleanse totems if the killer here does get fresh hooks all the way across, plus the Ruin and Undying get cleansed. So essentially, you're going to be seeing the Plaything and or the Pentimento at some point.
Yeah, it's an interesting build, right? Because we talked about before we were going in here, the Plaything needs some dull totems basically, and with Ruin, Undying and Pentimento, you do have a lot of work on the totems going on already, so that's going to be an interesting one to see this here. Also, the switch on the add-ons here is quite interesting to see that there's the unlimited duration of the tier 3 once you have found all survivors. So maybe, oh boy, maybe Canapec also making sure that one survivor is staying in the distance and all the time hiding from the shape here in order to not give him the progress he needs. But for now, he did definitely locate a lot of survivors here, got a lot of progress already for the fact that we are talking about the endless tier 3 here. So for, oh boy, it's not looking that bad yet. All right, so check this out, right? Like, we see 2 gens getting done really quick, but
we're already almost to perma tier 3 here. And this is where things get interesting, because perma tier 3 instantly going to be down. That's when the playthings start stacking up. When the playthings start stacking up, you're going to be forced to cleanse them, because you need to know when the heartbeat's coming for you. As far as for the tier 3 itself, there it is. Here's where everything starts. The Ruin and the Undying also both still up here, which could be one of those interesting situations where maybe the Undying ends up protecting a plaything instead of the Ruin.
Yeah, that's definitely possible here, and we need to talk about the balancing as well, because you mentioned how dangerous it is if you have playthings starting to kick in, no heartbeat anymore, and also as killer you can go for some risks here, for some slugs, etc., because there's no unbreakable, there's no decisive strike, there's no deliverance, so you can cause some trouble here. Also no exhaust perks to get you out of a difficult area. So couldnt, if they are not really quick on either the totems or smashing the generators very soon, things really start rolling for Oh Boy here, and you need to make sure that this snowball is not turning into an avalanche.
Yeah, I mean, because right now you were trying to crank out some gens, but I mean, with Ruin still being up, when you get pressured off of them, they are going to regress back to 0 within just 2 minutes, if not less than that, depending on how much progress is on them, right? So, I mean, you can see it. It's not necessarily a 3-gen, because I mean, it is RCPD at the end of the day, but we do still have the generator in the main building, as well as 2 generators up in this top left here, both next to each other. So I mean, kind of a nice 3-gen to monitor, quite honestly. And oh man, second stage being forced here. This is where things get interesting.
Yeah, I really think that Michael is in a quite good spot right here. Even though generator number 4 is getting completed, you can look out for some survivors in the end game. As we mentioned, you can just go for the slug then, because you don't need to fear any unbreakable or any second chance perks here. So Michael doesn't need to feel too unconfident yet. And however, the survivors, we need to mention this, they are doing a really good job in leaving these generators early, still having the needed coordination here, and making sure they are staying hidden as well and not giving out any down here. So that is taking a lot of time from Devours right now, checking the area here. And therefore, if couldnt is keeping that up, this might be the counterplay, and then they don't even need to go for the totems here.
Yeah, I mean, the only tough part, though, is especially by the gen down here, as far as in the main building, we've kind of removed a lot of the resources that are around this one here. We're even seeing our killer taking some time to check on this gen up on the far side over there. This survivor, though, has had the time to be able to retreat away without leaving any scratch marks or anything like that here, which I mean, this is going to be big. This is buying more time for, especially because our survivors can split up too, right? Like you can put one person on that mid gen, one person also even on the far gen over by the bathroom itself, because we know there's quite a bit of progress in this middle gen, and you've got 4 people left. But man, I mean, again, it's perma tier 3, Michael. It's never over until it's over, right?
Absolutely, yeah, but Devours needs to make a move soon here, because we were talking about 8 stages. With the penalty, it's 9 stages, so your win condition is 10 stages. And even though you have your permanent tier 3 and your hex totems, at some point you need to get these hook stages in, because there's going to be 8 additional stages needed here. So this is going to be a very big challenge still for Devours here. So we need the use out of these builds very soon here, otherwise it's going to be tricky. And this Nia here is going to be the down that might get everything started.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be big. Going for the slug play. Interesting here. We do hear, though, that middle gen sounds like it's regressed back, if not all the way. It's pretty far regressed. Then that's going to be that power of the tier 3, as we had talked about earlier, even a gen that's at 99% would be regressed all the way back to 0 in just 2 minutes here. Now going to be taking chase around this gen, going to be buying time for someone to be making their way across over to the Nia to be able to pick up off the ground, which we do see as we're talking about it here. Going to be getting one more pallet down and out of the way. Not going to be kicking it though. And it is interesting. We are going to be seeing the locker play here. This is going to force our killer to, instead of like we saw with the Nia, with the slug play, does force the pickup, which at that point you might as well at least get the hook. But with the hook here, another fresh hook, that should be another survivor with some plaything now attached to them.
Yeah, it's now plaything could exactly have the effect you mentioned earlier when you're not seeing or not hearing a tier 3 mice coming anymore. And when you go for the totems, it's also going to be quite tricky here because you mentioned the Undying that is there, so we still have that in the trial. The Hex Ruin needs to be located by the entire team. And there is a lot of work done related to totems in general here, and all these totems are also causing a lot of time loss from the survivors here. A little bit of time loss now for the killer, however, on this locker here. But you do start getting these hook stages in, and is there going to be a door for this? Yeah, it is. Yep. So this is going to be hook stage number 4, and we can also tell how slowed down this generator number 5 is at the moment, even though they're quite spread out across multiple levels of the map here. So it's really coming down to the question, when is generator number 5 ready to go? But judging it from right now, it won't be anytime soon.
And this is going to be tough because we have seen every hook thus far, as far as the fresh hooks, have given out a new plaything totem as we look across. Oh, there's that generator number 5, though, as we talk about it. And of course, since our survivors know the build, they know they don't have to worry about No Way Out. They know they don't have to worry about Noed. You also have that unhook that happened across the way that was right at a door. So if you can build some distance right here from the killer, we do see that we're going to be going up, maybe seeing a balanced landing play. We do see our killer is trying to make the decision if the time investment is worth it here or not. This also could just be this survivor merely buying their team enough time to ensure all 3 other players get out, as you are all the way up at the top. Yeah, you win. Let's go.
They can celebrate though, because if they all 3, this is going to be the victory then for couldnt here. So they are moving forward into the grand final. Very impressive 5th generator there. I wasn't expecting it to be done that quickly, as we saw the generator on 0 a while ago. But very, very impressive game over the 6 trials here from the start. And that makes us knowing the first grand finalist here. couldnt in their first grand final in DBE ever, so it's a big moment for the team. Congratulations to that. If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be me.